Now sometimes it's helpful to use a vise. Two of my favorites are the GRS Encore and the GRS Engraving Block. We'll start with the Encore. Now it holds rings really nicely, but you can put other things in it, and I will talk about how. You tighten the knob at the bottom to close the jaws. Then you have these other knobs that loosen and tighten the different swivel points. And depending what you're doing, you might leave them loose or you might make them tight. Now we also have the GRS engraving block. This is a swivel vise. It is a ball vise. It's actually a ball. The top turns, you slide it around in a donut, and the jaws open and close. So you can hold pretty much anything in this. This one has a lot of versatility to it. Now we're going to use Jet Set in combination with these vices when needed. It is a thermoplastic that you make soft in hot water and form around your piece. And before it cools, you put it in the vise so that it can conform to the jaws. Then you let it cool and it becomes hard. You do want to make sure that you push the plastic out of the way of your setting. So like use a dowel or something to push down so that the thermoplastic isn't in your way. You don't want to hit your burr with it. Now the key removes. It tightens from both sides, but when you are not using it, you want to remove the knob so that you don't hit your hand with it. We use a little bit of plexiglass. It gives us a place to put some sticky wax. It gives us a portable, flat surface. Now, we also have these little dowels with some wicked sticky wax on them. It's a great way to pick up these little tiny stones, also to get stones out of settings if they're tight. We'll be using digital calipers. The plexiglass helps you with the measuring, but we're going to use them to measure stones and settings. You can measure the outside diameter and the inside diameter of the settings. We'll also be using them to measure our burrs. This little wheel allows you to make small adjustments with your thumb. We're going to be using setting burrs. We have these quick change hand pieces, which are very handy for stone setting and a little easier for smaller hands to hold. It is important that you never close them empty and that you never step on the pedal when they're in this locked open position. You can see you can kind of hold them like a pencil, or you can hold them like a paring knife, like you're peeling a potato. They're just nice and easy to grab. You'll need a file with a flat side. It can be large or small. When it comes to the tubing, we're going to be using a thick wall tubing. You want the walls to be about 1/2 millimeter thick. That'll give you enough material for the seat and enough for the wall. So here are 3 tubes that are thick wall and 2 tubes that are thin wall that you can use for telescoping tubes. So you put one inside the other to create the seat instead of cutting it out of the thick wall. We'll be using a pusher, in this case a copper pusher, a burnisher, and a small burnisher. I would recommend holding your pusher kind of in the heel of your hand with your fingers connecting it to the piece so you can control how hard you push, which will help you not slip. It kind of gives you a stop. When you hold it like this, there's no stop. It's very easy to slip and either scratch your stone or gouge yourself or scratch your piece. The burnisher I quite often hold like I'm peeling a potato, but you want to watch the tip so you don't scratch your piece. Really, you just want to hold it in a way that allows you to control your motions.